All right, here with this crate we got 3 pieces of furniture, but it also that we group because they're alike in the right ways. But also we've got another reason to put them together, and we had one object that was longer than all the others, and it kind of blew our regular crates out of whack. So we included it in this. In this case, it's just in an inner box that fits in that little channel and is trapped by the lid. You can see that the foam here holds it up and down, and then these little blocks of foam go on the outside of those to keep it from going side to side. And this is not traveling exhibition packing. They don't want to pay for it. We don't want to charge them for it. So this is just stretch wrap closed for transit. That's really all it's going to need. It's a very lightweight object. It just happens to be kind of long. So here we've got what is sort of a box. Actually, it's just a tray with a lid. Actually, 1/2-inch foam core, untaped, with foam corners. Of course, those little bumps also give you some place to put your fingers to lift it. And then a lid that is a thinner foam core. It's got little strips that sit down inside here to make the top register. It's got little hold down points that contact the object in a couple different locations. And if you look, you can see it's a pitchfork, and it's blocked in place. It's cut out here to minimize how much room it takes. The sides are cut out, but it's not touching there, it's just floating. It's just held in place by blocking here, and then it's trapped there. And the other end, same kind of thing, just a little notch, and then there's a little divot that goes down inside to match. It's kind of low-tech, high-tech. All right, here's a good example, or interesting example, of a furniture crate. It has 3 different approaches, varying degrees of sophistication, and pretty conventional versus not so much. This one is a conventional approach in that you're riding a piece of furniture upside down on its top, which is pretty common with tables. It's on a tray, so it's easy to remove and handle. Some nice details that Cody put on here. Put some extra bumpers here that are basically give you a handhold for when you take it out and set it down. Not only can you pick it up again easily, but you also it cushions, keeps you from jarring the object. In this case, it's not going to travel a whole bunch of places, so it's not that fancy. It doesn't have handles on the trays or anything like that. But what it does have is a way to hold this with fixed braces, no movable braces, which is safer and actually is pretty easy. And in this case, since we've got insulation, it's harder to do braces crossways in a way that makes sense. So we avoided that by attaching a brace that here that goes crossways above the runners. And that'll do 2 things. It'll hold down the base down here, and it'll capture, there's an angle in here, it'll capture this part and hold it down, and then we'll have a little set of ties that holds Volara this way. So it's basically going to lock it in place really pretty effortlessly. I'll just put some high density over there. Here again, this is just purely functional. It's not supposed to be pretty. Just to eliminate any possibility of abrasion. So basically that'll just slide back. Make sure you have slack in the high density. When that slides back into place, you then have the pieces of Volara that are there. Give you a nice smooth kind of contact. Not really that necessary, but it's kind of nice. And then just the twill tie. And that will hold the thing securely in place. It's effective but low tech. The second one here is probably the most straightforward of the 2. It's just, yet again, it's on a tray, just like the other one. In this case, it's just blocked in around the bottom. That goes down not quite to the bottom. So it's resting on foam underneath there. Also, you can't see it, but it's about yay deep. But it's held in place here, and then it has angled foam up here cut on the sides to help channel it in, and then foam up above. So this is basically a simple rectangle. So this just makes it easy to get in and out without having to force it in any way. You set it down on the tray, that determines where it goes, and it slides right in. There are cutouts here for lifting that make it easy to get out of the tray, so it's not boxed in all the way. A very simple pack that just slides into place, and you're done. Okay, so here's the third one. This is a little bit fancier, but it really doesn't take that long to do if you're used to it. The classic method for a lot of furniture, especially unstable furniture, like antique chairs and such as that, is on a lot of furniture you don't want to put the weight on the legs. And not everything turns upside down. Obviously chairs don't turn upside down too well. This doesn't turn upside down too well because it's got an angled top with a hinge piece up here. So this is a loose piece and it's not flat, so we can't really do that. So this is just a very, very straightforward ply box with 3/4 ply and 1/2 inch ply, to where it makes the most minimal sort of pedestal, which supports a 2-inch piece of Ethafoam that is notched out in each corner. And so that prevents the movement sideways and front to back, and supports evenly all the way around, vertically all the way around. Then down below here you have this, the legs, so they can't just vibrate or whatever, go into the foam. They're actually kind of semi-floating in there. And as you can see, there's high density between the object and any foam, or even that's Tyvek that's over the surface of the Ethafoam, just because it's easy to do and it keeps the texture of the foam from being a problem. And then basically when you have something kind of snugged in from several directions, it's very inclined to stay put. Unless you had some statistically unlikely thing where it takes a bump and somehow goes straight up, it's going to be fine. It's not going to go anywhere. But just as insurance, and since this is a loose top, it does have just a Volara covered, like a 1/4 inch Volara covered strap. Goes over. It's like more like a seat belt than anything else. It's just kind of insurance, so it can't go up. And of course it's closed with a little strap there, a buckle, so you can unbuckle it. You pull the whole thing out, unbuckle it, and lift it right off. And then reloading, just as simple. Going the other way, and that's it. That's all it requires. So you don't have a lot of loose braces or anything else.